Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me. Gregory Mannarino. It's still Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. Once in a while here, we get the truth out of one of the freaks. And we got the truth today from one of the supreme freaks. I'm talking about Christine freaking LaGargoyle. Christine LaGargoyle, she made a statement which is pretty profound, talking about how the financial system has been weaponized. Now, being that you and I clearly realize that, well, everyone with a functioning brain, or at least a few, maybe one functioning brain cell, understands who runs the financial system. Duh. Who runs the financial markets? Duh. Who runs the economy? Duh. Yes, it happens to be the central banks. So when you have, the supreme leader of the European Central Bank explaining to you that the financial system has been weaponized, what is she saying? Well, they're the ones doing it. Like you and I need that thing, the gargoyle, to tell us that that's what's going on. It's astonishing to me, because that's what they do. These things, okay, I don't even consider them human beings. I'm being honest with you. They feel like they have some kind of, well, they do, a power over all of us that gives them almost like a divine, or makes them like divinity or something, okay? They can sit there and dictate things to you that you already know. We understand that the financial system itself has been weaponized, that the economy itself is being destroyed systematically, step by step by step by step. Central banks are determined to bring the world economy to its knees, and they're doing this by wiping out an entire class of people, the middle class, to create a new feudal system, extreme haves and extreme have-nots. This is how the system is playing out. This is how the few have controlled the many since forever. Okay, so this is the story. Imagine my shock, imagine your shock here. But when I hear something like that, other than the fact it makes me want to get my garbage pail here and vomit into it, I mean, it's an incredible thing. It really, really is. Speaking of incredible things here, before we talk about the market and everything else, so we heard from not one, but two other things, Fed presidents today. Let's start off with Fed President Bullard. Bullard. Again, this is the go-to guy. They float him out. Thank you, Carlos. They float this guy out for whatever reason. I mean, the market's becoming numb to that, to him. I think they're gonna have to float out with some other freak. But it was Bullard to begin with today, and this is what he said. All right, he's downplaying any chance of a recession. No, we're doing really good. The economy, we're firing on all cylinders. We're doing great. It's fantastic. Inflation is, it's bad. As a matter of fact, he said that the Fed needs to raise rates more dramatically moving forward. Did you notice that the market did not fall off of that today? Generally, when you hear a freak like that comes out and make a statement like that, it hits the market. But I want to talk more about the market in a moment. So again, Bullard downplaying recession. We're all rich and we're fantastic. But the Fed needs to raise rates more aggressively moving forward. Then they float out yellow tooth, butter tooth, whiskey tooth, whatever kind of tooth, yellow tooth, freaking Bostic. Okay. Bostic is another one of their go-to guys that they float out, likes to rear his ugly head from time to time. Now, this is what he had to. Inflation is still too high. Duh. Okay. Like, we don't know that. Again, he's an authority figure. Bostic, he's up there on his big lofty chair. He thinks he's divinity as well and must dictate to you your life. He goes on to say there is still a lot of work to be done on inflation. What is he saying? He's talking out of both sides of his mouth. One side of his mouth is he's talking about, okay, the Fed's going to raise rates one more time and then maybe pause. Okay, that's probably feasible. But again, there is no way anywhere on this earth, off this earth, or anywhere else that the Fed is not going to continue to inflate. There's a lot of people, and I'm watching CNBC, Bloomberg, I forgot which one it was, and they were talking about the Fed's balance sheet. Oh, the Fed's balance sheet has fallen like $100 billion in the last several days. Meanwhile, over the last several weeks, we're up like 400 billion. What about that? Why don't they talk about that? You remember what they did? The Fed absolutely reversed when this whole banking thing started to go down. The smaller regional banks here. What did the Fed do? They totally stopped their quantitative tightening cycle, went on to quantitative easing, pumped about 500 billion into the market here. We're down 100 billion, and that's it. The central banks, they're so serious. They really are. They mean it this time. They're going to control inflation. No. How many months have you and I sat here and listening to the nonsense, garbage coming out? Oh, we're raising rates. We want to fight inflation. But what has inflation done? It's gone higher and higher and higher and higher. And this is not going to stop. Whatever comes out of yellow tooth's mouth or bull tard, it doesn't matter. Inflation is going up. And with this energy thing, that was something else that LaGargoyle brought up today. Energy is being weaponized. Really? Oh, you're trying to tell me that central banks are weaponizing energy and the financial system because they all tie together? What is energy? What is crude oil? It's the lifeblood of the market, people. You all know that. Anyway, this stuff really makes me sick. I'll be honest with you. It really does. Let's look over at this market here. I want to talk about this. We did nothing today. All right. This market appears to me, okay, from a guy that watches this all the time, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out here that do the same thing, almost appears to me like it's topping out here. And I'm not saying we're going to go drop from here, but I'm saying it looks like it's about to do something. All right. Maybe over the next week or so, we could see this market fall under some pressure here. But again, look, what would that be? Does that mean we're going to crash right now? Absolutely not. You're watching the debt market. We are seeing a little trouble here. We're getting a sell-off here with regard to debt. Global bond yields are rising. That's the way it works. Debt sells off, bond yields rise. Okay, I know it's kind of weird to think of it that way, but it is true here. 10-year yield been stable last couple of days, but higher. The MMRI is coming up. The relative strength of the dollar was lower today. Gold and silver catching a bid. Crude oil sitting about 81. You know my take on this, people. And with regard to cryptocurrencies, yeah, absolutely, they got bid high. Bitcoin again over 30 grand again. That's the story with the market. But again, I'm looking at this stuff, and I don't want you to go shorting this market. Okay, I just heard from a whole bunch of you last week who said that you want to go short this market. And I think I saved a lot of you a ton of money because I told you not to do it. What has the market done since that? It's gone higher. Okay. I hate to say due, but the market is kind of due here. I'm not saying to short this market either. You understand? There's going to be a moment for this here. As a matter of fact, if you are a subscriber to my newsletter, there is a link in the description of this video. I explained to you, I'm thinking about doing something that I used to do in the past. It got me into a little trouble here, okay? And that is sharing my trades with all of you. Now, as you may or may not know, I got in a little trouble with the SEC about this, okay? It all blew over. It's all fine. But some people out here reported me to the SEC saying that I was front-running the market. Greg Mannarino is front-running the market. So I had to stop doing that. With regard to me possibly posting my own trades again in my free newsletter, again, link in the description of this video, I'm thinking about doing that. Now, all I can do is this. Look, I can post what I am doing. I can say, okay, guys and girls, I am buying calls on this. I am buying puts on that. I can't give you any advice at all. I can't even answer your questions. So, Greg, what about this? And Greg, I can't do that. You understand? If I decide to do this, I got to be very, very careful. I don't need any trouble with the SEC. I don't need some freak out here telling people that I'm front running the market and I'm going to get investigated or whatever it might be. Thank you, Dean. So if I decide to do this and I'm contemplating it, that's how it's going to play out. I'm going to say, okay, I am doing this. You're all responsible for whatever you do with what I say. You understand? I hope it turns out to be okay. If I have to pull it, I'll do it. I have to pull it if this gets out of hand. And I hope that doesn't happen because I did pull it last time. I had no choice but to do that. I completely stopped posting my trades. I know a lot of you got upset by that, but what am I going to do? What am I going to do here? All right. Anyway, so that's where we stand. With regard to the MMRI, I'm glad those of you who have a functioning brain are looking at it. We're at 226. We're not far from that first line in the sand here. We'll address these issues when we get there, people. You understand? With regard to this whole thing, let's keep our eye on it. All right. This market has gone up and up and up and up. It does seem a little toppy to me here in the short run, meaning we could get a pullback 5, 10, maybe 20%, which would be normal. And as long as risk in the market stays stable, okay, we're still in a high risk according to the MMRI, we're going to get long here. Okay, what I'm looking to do, let me just tell you what I'm looking to do here real quick. All right. I'm looking for a moment maybe to buy puts on SPY. All right. Ride that down a little bit. I mean, the market needs to fall. Maybe we'll get a 5% pullback, 10% pullback, something along those lines. If we're talking about an option, this is a lot of money. A 5% move in the underlying asset is huge in the derivative here. So I think most of you know that. And then what we'll do is we'll get long as long as the debt market remains stable. All right, look, I'm trying to make this easy for you. I have on my website, traderschoice.net, again, link in the description of this video, I set up an entire charting system for you. And it tells you if you should be buying or selling. If you put in a ticker symbol, it'll tell you on the right side, scroll down and say buy or sell. It couldn't possibly be easier, but I'm even trying to make it easier for you. All right. But again, I don't want to get myself in any trouble here as either. Twice this has happened to me, 2 times. Maybe I don't learn from the past and I shouldn't do this. But again, I can tell you what I'm doing. I can't tell you what to do. Understand? I think we got it. Anyway, with that said, we got bull tars and yellow teeth and gargoyles and ghouls. That's what we have in this freaking freak show here. Let's keep our eyes on these things, people. We know what to do. We know what we're doing, why we're doing what we're doing. There's betting against the debt, becoming our own central banks. Make sure you gain exposure to commodities via an ETF, an exchange traded fund. Like I said, I put out at least 3 or 4 lists of exchange traded funds in my newsletter. If you have not subscribed to my newsletter, please, what are you waiting for? Do it. Link in the description of this video. It's really free. Okay. We got each other's backs. We're taking care of each other. With that said, what else can we cover here? Netflix puts. I haven't even looked at Netflix. Okay. If I've been intraday trading like my eyeballs out for a while now, and it drives you crazy. You have to sit at your computer constantly. I'm going back into swing trading. Swing trading meaning holding a position from probably several weeks. So you don't have to be glued to the computer. And I will be trading one thing and one thing only. That is ticker SPY. That follows the S&P 500. You understand? I'll keep all of you on top of this. That's it, people. And I'm going to let you all go. All right. I'll see you all in the morning. It's going to be fantastic and lovely. Lava Girl has her own channel, people. Lava Girl has her own channel. She has no videos yet, but I know she's going to get one out soon. And this is fantastic. Okay. A lot of you have already subscribed to Lava Girl. She doesn't even have a video out, but let's show a little love here, lion love to Lava Girl. And let's subscribe to her channel. I was the first subscriber to Lava Girl's new channel. Yes, that was me. All right. All right. I'll see all of you in the morning. Take it easy.